This video is long overdue, but I think it's finally time to tell you guys the story of how I am basically free from Tourette syndrome. When I was about 8 years old, I started showing signs and symptoms of some type of tic disorder. I had different tics like shaking my head, weird gestures and noises, just typical things that you would find nowadays with someone who has Tourette syndrome. Now, the truth of it is there wasn't much knowledge about Tourette syndrome. Many doctors that I went to when I was younger would just tell my parents and I, "Oh, you have motor tics. You'll grow out of them in a few years." But fast forward many years, and we get to some of the worst times of my life dealing with Tourette syndrome. The doctors would prescribe me all sorts of medications. I felt like they were prescribing medications without even knowing exactly what they were trying to treat. These medications would cause tiredness, they would cause anxiety, depression. I didn't want to go to school anymore. It was degrading my self-esteem, and I didn't understand why this had to happen to me. Why was I the one born with Tourette's? I wished at times that it could have been someone else instead of me. During school, some kids would laugh at me. Teachers would ask, "Who's making those noises? Whoever's doing that, please stop right now." I was so terrified to go into school each day because I didn't know what people might say. Eventually, I was able to gather the strength with the help of my parents to educate people on what Tourette's was. It still wasn't as widely known, but people were starting to learn about this condition. Though school was a nightmare at times, I was still lucky enough to have a great family, and I had some good friends. I wasn't as keen on going out in public and, taking trips, going to the mall, going to the movies. There were some things that just seemed impossible for me to do. And with the tics getting worse every so often, it would be hard to sit still. I couldn't even balance a plate on my knee if I wanted to. It would just fall off. It was hard to sit in a chair. Sometimes it was even hard to talk. Even through the toughest parts of my life, I knew that things would continue to move on. And time's not going to stop for me, so I just had to deal with it. And I had to figure out a way to work through my circumstance. I started to realize that Tourette's was just a part of my life. It was something that wasn't going to go away. So fast forward a few years, and in March of 2021, I married the love of my life, Megan. And she was so understanding. She was so caring and just gave me a place to be safe. Gave me a place to be myself. I don't know what I would do without her. I don't know if I'd still be alive if it wasn't for her. But unfortunately, the tics were still there. They weren't going away anytime soon. So I continued to look for solutions. I researched, my family researched, Megan researched. We all tried to find different ways to make my Tourette's more manageable. Whether it was dieting, supplements, medications. There was so much speculation out there on the internet and in videos of what could be the solution to fix your Tourette's. But nothing ever seemed to work for me. So I continued on with life. Megan and I had our adventures together. We visited all around the country and made so many memories together. It was some of the best times of my life, but I was still searching for a solution. I wanted to make the Tourette's manageable. I wanted it to be something that I didn't have to wake up every single morning and be thinking, how am I going to get through today with my Tourette's? A few years ago, I got to a point in my life where it just became too much. I quit my job. I had to go to an emergency clinic. And I basically begged them for a solution, begged them for something. They prescribed me a medication. It made me anxious. It made me tired. and it wasn't helping the tics. I just couldn't seem to find relief. In the year of 2021, with the help of so many people around me, including my wife, I was finally able to get my life on track. I found a doctor who understood Tourette's. He was able to prescribe me medications that they finally worked for me. They decreased my tics by about 80%. And as I continued to make lifestyle changes with my diet, with exercise, and just thinking about life more positively, I started to realize that there is more to life than just worrying about my Tourette's. I can wake up each morning and be excited for the day. I am so thankful to be able to finally have found a solution to the point where I basically don't have tics anymore. It's not that they don't exist. You still see them here and there. And when I get in stressful situations, it definitely is more noticeable than in other situations where I feel more comfortable. But my life has changed drastically. And I am so happy to be able to finally be at this point. I honestly can't wait to see what the future holds, to see what different things this world has in store for Megan and I. I wanted to start this YouTube channel with Megan so that we could be a beacon of light to some of you out there. That we could, even to one person, provide some relief and provide some hope and joy and escape from maybe what they're struggling in their life. And it has brought so much happiness to the both of us to see that people are enjoying what we're putting out there. And we've put so much time and effort into what we've done so far, and it's just been a blast. We are so grateful for all the support from you guys. I couldn't have ever dreamed that this opportunity would be possible. If I was to tell my 8-year-old self that one day these tics would be gone, and I would then be sharing to the world around me what I went through and giving other people hope, I don't know if I would have believed myself. But now that I'm at this point, I can tell you right now that don't give up on what you're trying to achieve. If it's something that you're trying to change in your life, something that you're trying to get rid of, it is possible. Just take the time to believe in yourself and trust others around you. There is no reason to give up. You have to keep pushing. I still have many things that I deal with, that I struggle with in my life, but I'm able to look through my life with a different lens. And it's given me hope. So don't you ever give up on your dreams or anything that you're trying to do in your life. Because you have to remember it is possible. You can do it. Thank you guys so much for your support, for giving us a platform to be able to share our stories on, and the ability for me to be transparent with you as well, to be honest about what I went through earlier in my life. I truly hope that you guys can find confidence and strength and the ability to be hopeful from this video today. There is a reason to keep going, and you just have to take the time to find what that is. Thanks again, guys, for watching, and I really hope to see you in the next video. Bye.